Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and once again I'm coming to you with another range report. Well, actually today is going to be a range report revisit, and we're going to be taking a look at a firearm that I have shot and reviewed in the past, but not in this configuration. Today we're going to be taking a look at the B&T KH9 Covert, and this was a limited production version of the KH9. It came in Coyote Tan, or some people might call it Flat Dark Earth, but B&T calls it Coyote Tan. And it has a folding pistol grip and a folding magwell. And so you can carry this covertly in a small container or bag. And when I initially reviewed this pistol, it was during the ATF pistol brace ban. And right now we have an injunction against that, so I can't have the pistol brace attached. And that's mainly what this video is going to be about, because many of you, and rightfully so, criticized my review saying it really wasn't complete. And I totally understood, but there was nothing I could do, because I said in that video there are still people that might be interested in this firearm, that even might live in jurisdictions where they cannot own a pistol brace or they cannot SBR their firearms. They're not allowed to own NFA items, and they may still be able to get this gun and would want to know about it. But if you guys want to go over and see that original review, which I do highly recommend, I'm going to put a link in the description below, because I think most of the things about this gun that I like or don't like, or talking about the function of this gun, are going to be exactly the same. So as I said, I highly recommend going over and watching that video, because the focus of today's video is to see if the addition of the pistol brace changes anything about this gun. How much more shootable is this gun? Is it more accurate? Is it more fun? And does it really change anything? Well, that's what we're here to find out. But before we get into the things that I like and don't like and talk about the addition of this pistol brace, as always, I want to thank the people that make these videos possible. First and foremost is the owner of this amazing firearm. He's a local fan and subscriber. His name is D, and he has lent a lot of guns to the channel, and he's lent this one in the past to the channel, and now it's back. So thank you so much, D. It's a pleasure to get to shoot this awesome gun again. As always, I want to thank my Patreon supporters, because through their monthly donations and support, they help keep the lights on around here. I couldn't make all these videos without them. And if you guys want to join my Patreon for as little as $1 a month and get to see all of these videos early, there's going to be a link in the description below. And as always, I want to thank my primary sponsor, who always provides all of the ammunition for these range reports, thus making them financially feasible for me, my good friend Mark from Brownworks. And as I always say in these videos, if you're here to watch a review on a high-end gun like a B&T KH9 Covert, you probably have a taste in fine firearms. Well, I know you do, because you're subscribed to the Texas Gun Vault. And you probably have a custom Colt 1911, a Beretta 92, a CZ75, or a Browning High Power, just to name a few. And you've been thinking about ways of making these fine firearms more customized and personalized to you. Well, I have the perfect grip company, Brownworks. Brownworks is a custom grip company making a wide variety of grips out of a wide variety of exotic woods and materials for a wide variety of firearms. Mark is an artist, he's a craftsman. I'm always ranting and raving about his work. He can make laminate woods, he can apply custom logos, custom textures, and custom engravings to your grips. He can finish them in a wide variety of colors, and he can even apply exotic materials like alligator skin and snake skin to your grips to make them one of a kind and unique. So I'm going to put a link to his website in the comments section below. I'm going to ask you guys to go over there and check out his website and all that he has to offer. His customer service is amazing. So please go over there, see what he has to offer, make sure to contact him, tell him what you want, and when you do, please tell him the Texas Gun Vault sent you. Alright, so I know you've already watched the video on the original review of this gun, but let's talk about a couple things about this gun that I think are worth reminding everybody about. The B&T KH9 is not necessarily a totally new design. It is essentially their take on the old Sights Spectre, which was a submachine gun from the 1980s. And it definitely functions a little bit different. It has kind of a two-piece bolt inside, and it was a highly collectible and sought-after gun back then, it is today, and B&T essentially revived it and built a gun just like it, but to their tolerances and specs and modern manufacturing techniques. So if you're a fan of 1980s guns, you love the Sight Spectre and are gonna love the KH9. In fact, the KH9 name, I believe, is a play on words meaning Carl's Project, and of course, Carl Brugger is the founder and president of B&T, and this is one of the guns that he was really instrumental in helping get back on the market. Now, the Covert option is a limited production one, which I believe was only limited to 500 units. It does have a folding pistol grip and a folding mag well, and it does come in this little tiny carrying case. So the entire gun can be folded up into this, has a nice little strap to it, and you can carry it as a backpack, and nobody would know there's ever a firearm in here. So it is very covert. And I can tell you from reviewing this gun in the past, it is extremely accurate and a lot of fun. And even in the pistol format without the brace, it got very high marks. I really enjoyed it. But now we get to enjoy it with this awesome pistol brace. So I'm really excited to try this out, mainly because this gun really was designed to be shot with a stock. So let's go over a few features of this gun that I really like, and these are many of the same things that I mentioned in that original video. I love the fact this gun is a top charger. There's just something about that just screams 1980s. It's kind of like an Uzi. I love that. I like being able to manipulate the gun with a charging handle on top, and that also makes the gun very ambidextrous for people that might be left-handed. Of course, it is a B&T. They make some of the finest firearms in the world. Their machining and manufacturing is just top-notch. I don't think I have ever shot a B&T that I can say is not some of the best. I do love the folding options on this gun. I've already shown you those. That can make this gun extremely compact for carrying. And when it comes to this brace, which is the whole reason why we are here, they use the standard arms for the B&T stock, which gives you a very nice length of pull. Sometimes these little tiny pistols and PCCs, even with stocks, can just be too short. And I'm 6 foot tall, and I like my length of pull to be a little bit longer. This is compact, but it's not too compact. So I really like that, and the addition of this does seem to be a little bit comfortable. Now, let's talk about a couple things about this gun that I don't like. And the first thing is going to be the trigger, and I talked about that in the original video. These were originally designed as submachine guns, and it has kind of like this weird two-piece bolt in the receiver. And if you guys want to see all about that, I did do a field strip on this particular gun, so go check that out as well, and you'll see how all of that comes apart. But because there's this large mass in the back, it has a large and weird trigger pull to it, or a long trigger pull, and there always seems to be a little bit of a delay between when the trigger breaks and the gun fires, because it has a larger mass. I also find this gun is a little bit slow to fire if you're trying to shoot really fast in semi-automatic mode. Now obviously this is a semi-automatic only pistol, so I'm pretty sure this gun in full auto must be absolutely amazing. But the trigger in semi-automatic I think is okay. I definitely think the triggers in the APCs and the GHMs from B&T are definitely a little bit better, but those guns function completely different. But I can forgive that in this gun because of the action, and they were trying to copy the original innovations of the Sight Spectre from the 1980s. But really, that's the only thing about this gun that I'm not really a big fan of. So you guys have probably watched the other video, and I hope you have. So let's just get this thing to the range. Let's shoot this with this pistol brace attached, and let's see if it changes anything. The gun was pretty accurate before, but hopefully now it's going to be even better. So here we go. Let's just go to the range. Let's see what my initial thoughts and impressions are. I'm going to load up one of these magazines. We're going to start at about 10 yards. Just put some rounds through it and see how this brace changes anything, and I'll report back to you if I discover anything. Well, I'm not going to complain about the accuracy. This gun was accurate before, and I was able to shoot it really well just using a single point sling. But with the addition of this brace, oh my gosh, this thing is absolutely amazing. And I think a lot of that has to do with just the quality of B&T and the quality of their barrels. They make some of the most accurate and best barrels for 9mm PCCs, I think, in the world. This gun is just as soft shooting as I remember, but the trigger does have that little bit of a delay. If you've ever shot an open bolt gun, it kind of feels like that. It's not that delayed, but it's very close. Now, another thing that I was reminded about this gun that I don't like, but I don't think they can really address or fix because it's part of the original design of the Sight Spectre, is the gun does not have a last round bolt hold open. You can hold open the bolt with a little button here on the top though, so you can pull this back, push that button, and it will lock the bolt open. Then all you have to do to drop it, if you're on a magazine that is loaded, or you can pull the magazine out, you can just pull that charging handle back and it will close. But if you're used to the last round bolt hold open, you're not going to get it on this gun. But yeah, this thing is just as sweet as I remember. All right, so now let's double the distance on this target. We're going to go for the center of the next silhouette and just put another bunch of rounds through this and just see if this accuracy continues. But I can tell you the addition of this brace is a huge game changer. I can only imagine how awesome this would be if it was SBR'd and had a little bit more comfortable stock, maybe something with a butt pad here on the back. Now, if I really did have to criticize this brace in any way, I kind of feel like my head has to get really low to look through this aim point accurate. Well, that's probably something that you could change with various different mounts. Now, this is a B&T branded mount for this aim point acro. I think I might want it just to be a little bit taller. But of course, with this gun, you're going for the smallest and most compact package you can. So here we go. Let's go back to the range. Let's double the distance, and let's just see if I can continue to shoot this gun this accurately. And I don't think I was really expecting anything else. This gun is just crazy accurate. It is very obvious this gun was designed to be shot with a stock, or in this case, a brace. I still think the stock would be a little bit nicer. Now, as I mentioned, you might be able to own this gun, but can't own NFA items and can't own a pistol brace, just depending on the jurisdiction that you're in. And if you're one of those people, I still think this is a very good gun to have if you're going to use a single point sling and kind of shoot it like an MP5K. But speaking about an MP5, I think when it comes to the recoil and the felt recoil of this gun, it is the closest thing to an MP5 I have ever shot. It is just a great feeling gun. It has that Cadillac recoil, even though it is direct blowback and not roller delayed. But it feels so good. And even the manual of arms is very similar. I've already talked about the lack of a last round bolt hold open. Well, the MP5 has that as well, and you can pull that charging handle back and lock it into place. Now, you can't do the HK slap with this gun, but it kind of has a very similar feel and manual of arms. So if you like the idea of an MP5, want something that's really close to it, but maybe can't afford an MP5, can't find an MP5, or don't want an MP5, this might be a really good option for you. All right, so far I am blown away by the accuracy of this gun. So now we're going to do the bench rest test. Now, I was really good with this when it was just a pistol, but now with the addition of a third point touching my body, I can really stabilize this gun so much better. So we're going to put the target out at 25 yards. And yes, I know this gun can go out way further than 25 yards, but it is a 9mm PCC designed for close-up engagement, so I think 25 yards is fine. And if I can shoot this gun really accurate at that distance, I definitely know you can shoot a lot further without any problem. So here we go. Let's rest this on a barrier. Let's see what the accuracy is at 25 yards. Try to take as much of the human element out of the equation as possible. So let's go back to the range. And when I reviewed this gun in the past without the brace, I was very complimentary of it and how accurate it was in that configuration. But now that we have the addition of the brace, this thing is absolutely amazing. I feel like I cannot miss with this gun. This is one of those guns that makes me feel like I'm a way better shot than I actually am. I'm just an average gun guy. I'm not a trick shot. I'm not a competitive shooter. And I think many of you that watch my channel are kind of in that same boat. And so you guys know when you take a gun to the range just to have some fun with and you shoot it this well, you just kind of fall in love with it. And you're like, man, I love this. I want it to be with me all the time because it just is a naturally pointing firearm. It shoots great. The recoil's awesome. And it's just so accurate. You can't miss. It's so cool. All right, so the last thing I want to do is the mag dump test. I want to see how fast I can shoot this thing now that we do have the brace and I can stabilize it a little bit more. Now, when I did this test in the past, it wasn't as accurate because trying to do that with a single point sling is kind of hard. Plus, this trigger is kind of long and awkward. So hopefully now with the addition of the brace, we're going to be a lot more accurate and be able to shoot this a lot faster, even though this isn't the best semi-automatic trigger in the world. All right, so let's go back to the range. Let's just load up one of these magazines to capacity and see how fast I can shoot it. So just like when I reviewed this in the past, I couldn't shoot it fast. I couldn't get a good rhythm with it because this trigger pull is kind of slow and kind of long. But don't confuse that with heavy. It really is a very nice trigger pull, especially if you're going to take your time with it in semi-automatic mode. Now, if you could ever have one of these in fully automatic, I can only imagine how awesome this gun must be. But if you're thinking about buying this gun maybe for competition shooting, well, I might recommend going in a different direction. And if you want to stay with B&T, go maybe with the APC or the GHM. That might be a better option, especially if you're trying to shoot this gun fast. But when it comes to the accuracy, as you can see, almost all of the rounds were on the center of that target. So this brace adds so much to the shootability of this gun. I am so impressed by it. So, what are my final thoughts on the B&T KH9 Covert? Well, in my original review of this gun, I gave it very high marks. And pretty much, I'm going to do the same thing in this review. So pretty much 5 out of 5 stars. This thing is awesome. It is well built. I love the design. There are a few things about it that I wish they could change, like maybe adding a last round bolt hold open, but that might not be possible with this design. But for me, it is not a deal breaker, and this gun is very, very accurate. Once again, making me look like I'm a way better shot than I actually am. So I really appreciate that. So 5 out of 5 stars on the range report revisit for the B&T KH9, now with a pistol brace. So what do you guys think? Have you ever shot a KH9? And if you have you shot one with a brace, or was yours SBR'd, or did you shoot it without? And what did you think? So let me know in the comments section below. And as always, thanks for watching.